Very welcome to you, my dear Aquarius. So you get a second time the Sun in Libra. Last time the message was the elven ring is the singing of love from high above. You got there a very beautiful card. You got the sun, you got the joy, you got the Lifruma card, which is the elven ring, right? And the elven ring is something very special. And so today we're going to look at what is Libra wanting to tell you additionally to the last time, because it's the last reading now in Libra, and tomorrow the sun is going into Scorpio, and so you would have to wait another month to get your reading, right? And so you get a second time the reading. Very quickly, the sun in Libra, ruled by Venus, 7th house of relationship, and here the position is squatting in front of your heart. You hold yourself in your equilibrium, and then you is here the star, so the moon is in the star, and you are the 11th house of friendship, and you are ruled by Uranus, the revolution, and your position is side plank with holding one leg up and being here the star on earth and giving us the light, right? Because you are the star. And so we're gonna look at what is talking to you one more time here through Venus, through Libra. Your court card is the King of Swords in the Mystical Moment Tarot deck. I have listed all the cards that I'm using here. Is your birthday between January 9th and February 7th, then you can choose between a female and a male king, right? And this is nothing new. We have this in the Visconti Sforza Tarot, one of the oldest intact tarot deck that they found. And there we have all kings, all queens, all knights, and all pages, masculine and feminine, which I find very beautiful because it shows that back then they were considering already that there has to be a male king, because the king is then usually very specifically put to a zodiac sign, and it cannot only be just a man, right? But of course the king has that masculine perspective on life, and the queen has the feminine perspective on life. And so it does show, right, when someone has more like a king or a queen as a court card. So now I'm picking one more card, and that's on the position of the Judgment, and the Judgment is the number 20. And the powerful thing here, what's happening is that Pluto, which is connected with the Judgment, right, is going into Aquarius next year, 2024, which when we calculate that together, it's the number 8. It's going into Aquarius. So Pluto is going to affect you very strongly, particularly in the shadow side and in the mystic. So here I'm picking the Lifruma Healing Oracle, right, which we had last time. You had the Lifruma card. So let's see what the call is from the Lifruma Healing Oracle this time. And that is something that's not going to affect you just and on a small scale, right? This is the major arcana, and since the Judgment is connected with Pluto, you are going to feel that there is a huge message coming through Pluto. And we're going to look what the message right now is. Hood, the hooded and the unseen. The number 27 I see the High Priestess and the Chariot. On a spiritual level, you're becoming very powerful, and I see a heart, kind of, right? That's not really in an equilibrium, but nevertheless, you can see there is the attempt of a heart. And calculated together, we get a 9. The number 9 is Virgo, is the Hermit, is that inner state of knowledge that you successfully have worked on. And if I put now, of course, the 20 above, then when we calculate it together, we get a 47. And the 47 creates then a portal of 11. And the 11 is then letting you know, well, have a deep look now into what this card is letting you know, because there is a portal of love, right? There is a portal that is letting you know something is wanting to talk to you. So you can stop the video and read it yourself and meditate on it. The unseeing hooded warrior of inner battles, look within before looking out. Only listen to thy voice and not the dialogue of others. The hooded falcon with claws and jaws tears flesh. We must wait to unmask, uncloak, and be ready to steer with precision the target in our sights, lest we lash out and harm those we openly love. Plan, seek, swoop. The unseeing. And like I said, right, you feel like there is kind of like a rainbow moment here. There is a moment where this is giving you the heart shape, otherwise it would be just this straight line. It's almost like there is something coming into focus. It was unfocused, and now something coming into focus because you closed your eyes, because you looked deep within. And that's the call, right? The call of the mystic, the call of the shadow side that you are now wanting to have a look at. And so we're going to see how the reading is unfolding. Today I'm reading to the left because we're going to your new moon. To the left is the soul path, and when I read to the right, it's the human path outwards to the full moon, again to your opposite sign. And so now we're going to the new moon, we're going back to sun and new moon in your sign. And so it's almost like you're coming home, right? You're coming home in this body as a soul. And so we go from right to left, just that you know. On the position of the Fool, which is connected with Uranus. And Uranus is that moment where we want to begin something, where we have this idea, where we have this thought, and here comes the sun. And each time when I say that, I think of the song, Here Comes the Sun, right? Little darling. And he stands on a cloud. He has the mask. And he's Apollo, the sun god, this young child, and he's facing with his body the soul, but he's looking back into that human path, in that human exploration to the outside. It's the exploration to the inside, it's the inspiration. That's also the title on the front, right? So that you know, oh, this is now 6 months to the full moon, an exploration, and then back to the new moon. It's again going back to the inspiration. The 19 here is then that moment where you recognize the one, the magic in being content deep in the 9, deep within yourself, which is also here in the 27, and 9 that is coming here. To know that you are empowered like the sun, because you are a star, right? You are Aquarius. You are connected with the star, and the sun is a dwarf star. So it's almost like you are now recognizing that you learn everything that you can learn. You're going back to the new moon, but also you still have the eye out there, because that's what we have to learn here in this dimension. We have to learn to be in both sides, in both ways, looking in both directions. We look up and we look down, we look right and we look left. So the 19 then becomes a 10. And the 10 and the 0 is, of course, then 100. And 100 is then this newfound understanding of 100%. Be 100% yourself. Be 100% connected with the sun, because you are a star. On the position of the magician, which is connected with Mercury, comes here the rattle. And the rattle is the number 43. And the 43, it's the Empress and the Emperor, right? That masculine and that feminine. And you have both, right? So you can pick, are you more a female king or a masculine king, right? And so you have here in the 3 and the 4, the masculine and the feminine. Calculated together, you get a 7. And you had the 7 here in the hood, right? Remember. So that's the message, that hooded, unseen moment, calculated together, gets the 7. The 7 is the Chariot. And the Chariot, the 7, and the 1 of the magician creates an 8. And the 8 is then, of course, you, right? The star that is up here like a monument, like the Taj Mahal here. And you are that inspiration. You are that little fairy that brings the light to the people. So if I calculate here the 43 plus 1, I have a 44. I also get then a portal here, right? And so Mercury is bringing you the information, but it's an information that's still innocent, right? It's also an inspiration. That's what the magician is all about. It's like you get this inspiration to use the rattle, because the rattle is something that is connecting you earth to sun. It's like the axis, right? It's like how we calculated all of this. Now then I picked here from the Mother Peace Tarot a card, and here came this card slightly to the side, and it's the Daughter of Swords. And the Daughter of Swords is facing the right, right? And so in this deck, because they're round, I love that. I have up, I have down, I have right, and I have left, the meaning to this card. So the 3 of daughters are the pages, and you are here as a young child, always wanted to take that rattle, because the rattle is what the magician uses. It's a very important tool for him. He's like shaking it, and that's how he gets into the spirit world. So right now I'm going to look what the daughter to the right, the Daughter of Swords to the right, is wanting to tell you. Right, to the right. I'm going to show you quickly how it looks upright, and she's fighting a horse that is coming down, and we're going to just see it for a moment. The daughter stands on a rock, waves her sword, and whistles for the wind. The wind comes in the shape of a horse and is welcomed by the other inhabitants of the wild land, a mountain goat, black sheep, and javelina. Now to the right, she starts many things at once. So when you see this, right, that you maybe feel that you are empowering yourself and you start many things and you start shaking the rattle. And since there are 3 zodiac signs in this card, so the number 3 is attached to this, we get the 44 as a portal, with the 3 then separate alone, and that's then also connected with the Empress. Or you get the 8 plus 3 is an 11 portal. So again, the 11 portal is speaking to you because you are the 11th zodiac sign. Remember, you're the 11th house. And the 47 that we had here at the beginning is an 11 as well. So the portal here is use the rattle to actually become someone that listens from within, that looks from within. And you have always done that. You have always been that personality that is looking, that is listening, and that is using actually the rattle to take charge in whatever it is that you're doing. Then on the position of the High Priestess, we get here the moon that is ruling the High Priestess, and the Nine of Wands is connected with the constellation Moon in Sagittarius, right? And Sagittarius is the wand, and when you look at it closely, you see that one wand in the center is important, one rattle, only one stick in the end is important. So you're doing a lot of things, right? That's what came up here. She's doing many things at once, and so I feel like these many things at once, plus the two, which is then here the intuition, and the two is a division. Out of that division, a new energy can emerge, because the two is the duality. You get the 9 and the 2, which creates again an 11. So you have 3 times the 11 already. And here you have the 10. So 3 times the 11 is 6 times the 1, plus this one is 7 times the 1. So the message is clear, right? And you have another 9 here, right? In sense of here is a 9. And of course the 19 has a 9. And now here together is a 9. And the 9 is always that completion. Again, the 9 is the hermit that is bringing duality into union. That is bringing duality into union. That's why you can only lead when you bring masculine and feminine together. When you see that you can be both, right? The masculine and the feminine king. So the intuition is bringing you, no matter how difficult, how strong the forces are from the outside and pushing you in all directions and wanting you to do too much, focus on one task at the time. Because this is what then brings your feelings and your subconscious into movement, right? Because this is the High Priestess connected with the moon. Then on the position of the Empress comes here the moon. And the Empress is ruled by Venus, and Venus is beauty and love. And the moon, as I said, is ruling your feelings and your subconscious. And so she's pregnant with ideas. She's pregnant through nature. Nature is always pregnant. And so the 18, right, and the 3 creates the 21. And guess what? The 21 is the world. Then you see that the moon is influencing the world with its feelings. The path out of the water up into air again is what the age of Aquarius is as well right now, right? Because there is a procession, and the precession we go forward in the zodiac signs, and a procession we go backwards through the zodiac signs. And an age is 2,150 years long. And we're going currently from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And on top of it, Pluto. Pluto is going for 20 years into Aquarius. And so you have to really take this message serious, right? It's a message directly as a call for this month, how to handle this situation. So the world, the 21, the 3 is left. You can give this world so much when you in your center, when you know that you are an empress. And so a very strong energy is already highlighting you. So these 4 cards, right, from 0 to Magician to High Priestess to Empress, are state of consciousness, are developments of like, that's how I see the world, that's how I understand it. And now we go into the sun, right? The sun that is in Libra. We get the moon again, and the sun in Libra here in the Golden Dawn Tarot, which I gave this deck just to Libra, and your deck is the Mystic Moment Tarot deck. I've listed them all below, you can look. You see here an 11 and the 18, so there's a portal, there's 11-9. If I read it from below to up, it's 9-11, right? So there is a very important message coming here through Libra to you. And also in this deck, Justice is this woman sitting up here in a higher perspective, and she holds the balance. And so this is an 11 as well, right? So we get again a 9-11. And this is what Libra is letting you know, right? Allow the moon to bring you peace. Allow the moon to make you feel that you evolve constantly with the moon, because the moon goes through all the zodiac signs, and I do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign. So I get you, I feel you through the moon, right? And it's really interesting. Every day is different, and I feel now more the subtleties of what does the moon do to me, right? And that's my dedication to really feeling the energy. And you get my reading mostly after the moon has moved out already, so it's not influencing you, so it's no future reading, it's always now in the present moment. On the position, right, and here it was the sun, right? Here the sun is in Libra and is brought to the moon, so the sun is literally saying, hey, I'm giving you the light, I'm giving the moon the light. And so recognize that the sun and the moon are these opposite energy, are the dualities. On the center of the reading, where you have the King of Swords, right, where you have the feminine and the masculine king, comes the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands are all 3 fire signs, while the Daughter of Swords were all 3 air signs, which is always Gemini, Libra, and you. Now here we have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius came up, right? Moon in Sagittarius was here talking to you, and you recognize that the 3, and of course, let's say you, the 11th zodiac sign, which I usually don't calculate together, but if I would, I get the 14. And the 14 is Temperance, and Temperance is Sagittarius. So there is a Sagittarius that is helping you to look deeper within, or you are taking on Sagittarius qualities to look deeper within what it is that you still want to explore in this world, what it is that you want to experience. Doesn't matter if you're female or a male king, you want to explore, you want to see and look deeper into this world. And remember, the moon is going to help you with this, right? Because the moon has come up twice. The moon is really saying, well, observe the moon, watch the moon, and see how actually this card looks very similar now, right? You can see the towers, you can see how this lobster is coming out, you see the dog. Here the dog and the wolf are looking the same, but here they created a white and a dark energy, right? The opposite energies of the yin and the yang. Then on the position of you, the star, right? We have the 9 of Pentacles, and 9 of Pentacles is connected with the constellation Venus in Virgo. Now we have Venus in Libra, right? And on Libra came up the moon. And so understand that Venus in Virgo is letting you know that you are single, that you're independent, that you're in your heaven, that you're holding this beautiful bird, that you have fruits of ideas in your head, you holding here the pomegranate or the apple in your hand, and you are rich and you are independent and you are happy. And the interesting thing is the 17, which then becomes an 8, and the 8 and the 9 creates then, of course, the 17, right? And the 17 is you, and so the 17 is left. You are left, and then the 8 is left, and that infinite understanding of you sitting up here like a star, an inspiration to others, right? Because you have worked on yourself and you have gone into your adventures, and you are saying, that's what I want. I want to be happy. I want to be in my life, and that's what Venus in Virgo does. But also remember, you are single here, right? This lady is single. She has no partner. And so you somehow are also single, right? And you are happy with that for some reason, because otherwise the 9 of Pentacles wouldn't have come up. So the 9 of Wands, you took this action to defend things also on a spiritual level, and now you have the financial level all secured. On the position of the moon, right? The dream oracle, here comes the 50, the spirit of the river, and the movement towards adventure. And yes, you looked into the adventure, right? You had an eye on the adventure. And here it's your left eye that sees what is the soul bringing to me. And you have the bird here flying, but the bird is always coming back to you. He's always letting you know, here I am, what do you want? What do you want to see in your third eye, in your inner eye? And so the 18, the 9, here calculated together, and the 5 is again a 14, and the 14 again is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is saying, well, have a look at your adventures, right? So Sagittarius is affecting you here, and Sagittarius, then again the 14 here is that balance that you find, and the 14 becomes a 5, so the 5 is left. So go out, because it's important that you recognize the adventure are taken by the 5 senses, by the 5 first chakras, and then all the other chakras are in the other dimension. And I picked here as well because these are oracle cards from the Mother Peace Tarot, another card, and here comes the 5 of disc, and the 5 of disc is facing to the left. And so there is a 5-5 portal here that is inspiring you, because the 5 is that inner knowledge of knowing that you want to succeed. And so the 5 of disc, a woman needs dough to make bread. To the left, she may not have much strength now to do even simple tasks, and she needs to go slowly. So I think this card is inviting you to actually go slow, to not go fast, right? To take every task that you're doing slow. And the 5-5 portal is letting you know, just take your time, allow the life to unfold. 2 times 5 is bringing you then the understanding also that you had here. I'm just taking now only one card, right? The 11 and the 3, that was also 14, and the 5 came up on your position. So the 5-5-5, 3 times 5 is empower yourself by knowing that the 5 senses are always challenging us. Then on the position of the sun comes here the bushfire in Australia, right? The fury, the power of the fire, and the sun, which is fire, is a 10, and this is a 10. So there's a 10-10 portal. Now you had the sun as well here on the Fool. So you have this energy and you want to do things, and so be careful that you're not burning yourself, because you also have the 9 here, which is also intense. Sagittarius is intense, and here Sagittarius came up as well, right? So be aware of it, right? Because the 1010 portal here in a way is saying, well, be careful, right? Be always careful that you are not burning yourself. And also here then I picked a Mother Peace Tarot, and the Ace of Wands came up. Look at this beautiful card. This is upright, the Ace of Wands, right? This child coming out of this egg. And it's like there is something that needs to burn so that you can explore more who you really are. Because, I mean, your opposite sign is Leo, right? And Leo is in the Page of Wands as well. So have a look, right? Have a look what this is letting you know. And the Ace of Wands, because it's reverse, right? I want to see what it's saying. I love these cards. So here I'm going to put it upright. A baby's born from a robin's blue egg, and fire ignites the new life. Now, when I do it reverse, she can't feel or activate her passion, fire, or creativity. Perhaps she doesn't want to express anger or other strong emotions, or there may be a fear of expressing active sexual energy. Wow. So you see, right, this is really interesting. You got the fury. There is an anger inside of you. There is something, and that's what Libra is wanting to tell you, because Libra is still in the sun today, and tomorrow it's going to be in Scorpio. There is something that is needing to go, and you need to observe what is it, right? And then when I have, of course, the 1010 with the 1, it's like 3 times the 1. And you already had 7 ones. Now you have 10 ones, right? And oh boy, right? This is clear. The sign is very clear. There is 10 times the 1 talking to you. It's like, you gotta really look at this, right? And so, yeah. Understand the energy that is deep within you. And if you release it into the adventure, maybe you will feel a little better. Then on the position of the world, the last card comes here, the 4 of Wands. Now you have 9 wands and 4 wands. That's 13 wands, and that's Scorpio. So tomorrow Scorpio is transforming us all. Scorpio, who is ruled by Pluto, the mystic, and the 9 came up, right? And so the 4 and the 3, I'm going to put this down for a moment. Remember, the 4 and the 3 came here in the rattle. And the 4 and the 3 is saying, hey, use the power wisely, because you maybe back when you were younger, right? When you were this young personality, you didn't really know what to do with all of your energy, the Daughter of Swords, right? It's like you are stuck somewhere. And now you can liberate yourself, because the 3 and the 4 creates again a 7. So you have here a 7-7 portal. And you can see that the constellation Venus in Aries is connected here with the 4 of Wands. And Venus in Aries, it's like we take action for beauty, for love. We take action in this world that is never gonna get lost. And so here you see that the message is clear, that you have to bring the work of other women together. You can achieve something that's quite difficult to achieve, because the world is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is that I have limits, I have lectures, I have borders, I have the fact that the earth exists the way it exists. We have difficulties to get through, and so you're learning to go and rise high above and be on this island of earth, a piece of island up in the heaven that you're creating here, this high time, a high time of ceremony with other women, with like-minded women. And so now when I put the sun here, we can see that he's up here, right? Or you are up here with him, and he's looking over and he's literally saying, well, then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And remember, the 5 was here in the moon, in your dream, that you get the 5-5, right? And it's here 5 people. So he's seeing them. He sees how you raise your energy and you are sharing that with others. And so the sun, as the dwarf star, is bringing you that you bring love and beauty into this world. Very important, right? That you, even though you have this fury in you, just remember, it's time to unleash it. It's time to release it, right? Because you have the 3 of Pages and you have the 3 of Swords, right? These are all the young generations, and so recognize them and work with them and elevate yourself as well, because that's what I think Libra is telling you. There is an equilibrium. There is here the 47, which is the 11 right here that we said, and recognize 10 times the 1. I mean, it's a lot of ones. So a new beginning. And I think it's beginning tomorrow, right? When the sun is going into Scorpio, and then we're going to feel Pluto, the mystic, the transformation, the unseen, and the hooded, as that call, right? That we liberate ourselves, that we show that we're part of people that we feel comfortable with, right? And that's what's going to give us the strength. So I hope I see you in the next one, because then the sun is in Scorpio and we're gonna see again what Scorpio is wanting to tell you. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.